Ah, darn it. Ah, shoot. I moved the camera out of frame for a second. Ah, now I'm stuck. The part of me doing the jump in the water was so that I did it without thinking. And now I'm thinking. And now I'm getting second thoughts. Oh gosh. This would only happen to me as the weather actually starts getting cooler out in the morning. Ah, well, I'll just shut up and do it. Whew! Ooh! Oh, that is brisk. Ah, it's nice though. I would say it's probably high 70s, low 60s. The water temperature, that is. Not bad, but it's definitely noticeable from the week before, or even yesterday for that matter. Happy Sunday, everybody. So yesterday was about as great of a day as I could have hoped for. In fact, by the time it was over, after giving it some thought and not very much sleep because I was just so excited, it might have been the best day of this whole year so far. I'm serious. In fact, my low stems from the fact that the party's over. It was a party I went to. And I had to leave partly because I had to do my live vlog, but more importantly, when I left, I had a 3% battery charge on my phone. And I couldn't find any available phone charger there. So I had to leave. But my high was just that party I went to in general. It was, it was everything I was hoping it would be and so much more. And I am so glad that, I knew the party was going to happen, but when I knew it was going to happen, yesterday, and keep in mind, I learned the date of when this party was going to happen, way back in, I think it was March or something. I've been mentally preparing for this party since, again, early spring. And, all those months of planning really paid off. Because my act of kindness was I made several things for the party. And they were a big hit with everybody who was there. So, yeah. It was awesome. Hold on, let me adjust the camera. Okay, that, hold on. That should work. Okay. Oh, darn it. Sorry, got a yellow line thing going on. Okay, that works. So, yeah. It was just a great party overall. I made my guacamole, I made pickles, and I made a State Fair lemonade for this party. And everybody loved it. My guac was all but devoured by everybody. My pickles were a big hit, and because I made extra, being the gracious guest that I am, the party hosts were able to keep it, and so now they have, actually, between those jars of pickles that were mainly for hors d'oeuvres for this party, and the jars of pickles I gave the hosts of the party as a way of saying thank you for, inviting me, they're probably not going to need to worry about pickles for a while. I mean, actually, there was one jar for the hosts, one jar for their daughter, another jar for their son-in-law's parents, and another for their other son. So yeah, they pretty much had like 7 jars of pickles, even though the 3 jars of pickles that were used for the party were for hors d'oeuvres. And like all day I just spent like getting excited for this party and like waiting for everything. Like, this is exactly the kind of party that like I wish as a kid I was invited to. I mean, by my peers, that is. I mean, growing up, I'll admit I really wasn't invited to many parties, and I'll definitely explain more of that in detail in December like I do every year. But point is, you know, I never really was included a lot in stuff when I was a kid. And it really is great that as an adult, and obviously you put a little work in, you know, you gotta give, you know, respect to get respect, stuff like that. Like, you know, I have, you know, nights exactly like I had last night. It was great. I mean, honestly, at this point, the only real problem I have with a party like this, well, actually, there's 2 of them. One is, I just wish they happened more often. Or I was actually invited to these sorts of things. I mean, at this point, I know it's either going to happen or it doesn't. I know that. I respect that. And there's probably a logical explanation for why that's the case. But also, when I do get invited to those kinds of parties, like, it's so sad when the party's over and I have to leave. Because that just shows how much of a great time I had. Speaking of a great time, okay, I just mentioned how I never really got invited to parties a lot, so when I'm there, I try and be there for every second that I can. And sometimes I am at parties a little bit longer than I ought to be. But for this party, okay, so my dad told me, don't stay too long, don't be the last one to leave. And technically, I wasn't. I mean, I was technically the last person to leave who could actually physically leave. Because a lot of guests at that party were so incredibly drunk they had to stay there for the night. So, I wasn't the last person to leave. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of them are just waking up right now. And it's well after 10 o'clock in the morning. I literally just realized it is a beautiful day out. Holy cow. It's great. But, I mean, I wouldn't say it was all perfect. I actually made, this mistake was on me. I actually was wearing an all-white outfit. Not all white, I mean, my shirt was all white, but my pants were, like, white with, like, black plaid designs. Kind of. And, technically, I did stain my shirt, but not because I dropped food on it. It's because, like, my hand, that's had, like, a little bit of, like, sauce on it from what I was eating, like, barely grazed my shirt. So there was a tiny stain, but luckily I was able to get to a sink and, pretty much made it all but disappear. Like, my dad walked by. I'm like, does this look bad to you? And he's like, no, you're fine. So, yeah, I did okay. Speaking of sauce, holy cow, was the food amazing. I mean, yeah, there was my guacamole that everybody devoured. Everybody liked my pickles. Everybody liked the lemonade I made. But the food they had there was, like, no joke. Like, there was shrimp with cocktail sauce. There was cheese, crackers, and, you know, pepperoni for, like, hors d'oeuvres. Obviously, my guacamole was considered an hors d'oeuvre. And the food they got was catered by the Swits. They had a bunch of wraps. Like, there was a tuna wrap, chicken salad wrap, turkey wrap, hand wraps. And for hot food, they had, fried shrimp. They had 2 different kinds of wings, buffalo and barbecue. They had, mini bruschettas. They had Swedish meatballs. They had pulled pork. And they had sort of like cold. I mean, it was cooked beef, but it was served cold to put on like a little King's Hawaiian roll. And they had like accompaniments like barbecue sauce and like mayonnaise and horseradish. And I'm making myself hungry just thinking about it. And again, the King's Hawaiian rolls. And it was just good food all around. Like, I'm legit having trouble deciding what I like the most. I mean, of the wraps, I would probably say the ham wrap was the best just because it's ham. But turkey was a close second. I mean, chicken salad and tuna salad, those are good too. But if I'm picking the best between the four of them, you know, I gotta go with ham because that's a sure thing. In terms of like hot dinner food, gosh, that's hard. It was all so darn good. I guess I would say number one would have to be the wings. I mean, if the beef was served like hot, like that would easily be number one. And for all intents and purposes, I guess you could. Again, it's hard to pick a number one for how good the food was. Like the best individual thing. It was all just incredible. And not to mention, this is the best part. Okay. So for dessert, they had like a cookie tower thing. They had like a bunch of chocolate chip cookies. They had like those kinds of cookies where before you bake the dough, you put like a mini Reese's peanut butter cup in there and you bake it. They had what I can only describe as like these cookies that were a combination, like the flavor combination and texture was like a toss up between a lemon square and a scone. But hands down, the best dessert there, and it makes me so happy that I had like a bunch of this. They had pumpkin cookies with icing on them. I had my first pumpkin spice item this year. Yay! Oh my gosh, my inner white girl was so pleased. Oh, my inner white girl was so pleased. Oh, and it was so good. It was so great to have pumpkin spice stuff again. Oh man. It was all so good. And it's funny. I was saying I actually made a new bestie. I made a new bestie. This one woman, she was, I mean, again, I'm not gonna name names, so it's not to embarrass or offend people because that's my policy. But this woman was like awesome. I mentioned the inner white girl thing and she died laughing. Because I'm like, everyone has an inner white girl. I have an inner white girl. And I was pointing like some guy, that guy over there, he has an inner white girl. And then someone asked, what if you already are a white girl? Well, in that case, your inner white girl is so incredibly powerful, it manifests itself in physical form. Very simple, really. And man, it was great. The night pretty much ended with a bunch of us just sitting on like the dock, just shooting skeet. It was a lot of fun. And again, I can't emphasize enough. The one sad thing about this party is, you know, it was over. You know, but, you know, I had a wonderful time. I definitely made sure, because obviously I brought the guacamole and the lemonade. So I need to take that bowl and the pitcher back. So I had to make sure I did that. I very much thanked the hosts of the party for, you know, inviting me, of course, because, you know, I couldn't leave without doing that. Because, full disclosure, I've actually known the hosts of this party for many, many years. Like, I went to a school, I've known their daughter since kindergarten. So, I'm 34 years old, so, gosh, like, almost 30 years. Can you believe that? Like, 28 years I've known these people. That's insane. And a testament to how old I'm getting. That's okay, though. It's not how old you are, it's how you are being old. I mean, don't get me wrong. There have been a lot of really great things that have happened this year. Hell, again, I sort of alluded to this earlier. It just occurred to me, like, the greatest year of my life last year started pretty much in August. And that's very much been the case. I mean, I spent my vacation up here for that first week pretty much. There was the golf tournament I volunteered at last weekend. There was the party I went to last night. There was quite literally the first Friday night I was in Elmira in weeks. And probably the only time I'll be able to do that in the month of August. Like, for all intents and purposes, this month has been nothing short of extraordinary. And we still have a week to go before it ends. I mean, I don't know what's going to be happening this week. And as far as I know, nothing major is happening. Outside the fact that next weekend we're going to be celebrating my nephew's birthday. Actually, his birthday was on the 23rd. But we didn't, we're not going to celebrate. We're going to choose to celebrate it, next week. So, I'm definitely going to look forward to that. But Labor Day. Labor Day weekend's next weekend. So, that's going to be exciting. College football, that's going on. Although I think it really is going to kick off. Either it kicked off yesterday or it's really going to kick into high gear this upcoming weekend. But, yeah. August is nowhere near. Oh, it's nearing over. But it's not over yet. And it's already been great so far. It's been nothing short of outstanding, even. I can barely think of how it could possibly get any better. But I'm sure listen, there's a chance I could be wrong about this, and maybe something bad will happen this week. There's a chance that something so great will happen that it blows everything else out of the water, although you'd be hard-pressed to think of anything better than what happened last night. It's just been great. And that's the best thing about doing these videos. Like, and not that I've really been chronicling everything per se, but I say that and I literally start, and the title of every video is today would be like day 24, 29. Hey, I remembered. But like, the fact I'm able to have these experiences and share them with all of you, and the fact that, you have social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube that allows me to convey these experiences to you. Like, listen, for all the flack that social media gets, there's quite a few things it does right. Stuff like this, and that's definitely one of those things. Last night, I had a blast. And right now, the only thing I'm sad about is we gotta wait a whole nother year for a party like that to happen again. At least up here. I'm sure there's gonna be something else. I mean, I did say, I told everybody that compliment my guacamole, if you want to have it again, have a party, invite me, and I will make it for you. So, in a crazy kind of way, I'm in. Okay, I'll end this off now. Gosh, it's such a beautiful day up here. I hope y'all like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Oh, happy Sunday, folks. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always be here to lend an ear, and I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.